praat Thomas van CD-project, het team achter The Witcher 2, Assassins of Kings. Thomas, the game looks great, but can you first tell us something about the storyline, please?
It's cool, it's awesome, it's uber awesome. It's really non-linear. Seriously, I could say uber in many languages just to stress how non-linear it is. But the main idea is we definitely wanted to make sure that a lot of players who will be playing the story, they will get their own story progressing through the way. They will carve their own path. But the main idea for us is that we're actually quite curious what path each player will choose. With 16 different endings, we even had to implement the social media support in a game to make sure that we get feedback from the fans. We do want to know how people shape their own story.
How would you describe the gameplay?
Fluid, smoother than The Witcher 1, definitely. Accessible to everyone who might have thought that The Witcher 1's combat, for example, had too high of a entering threshold. But on the other hand, it's got definitely a lot of jewels and a lot of stuff that people will appreciate because most of the skills, for example, are gameplay oriented. So instead of giving people +5 to damage, we give them throwing daggers. So it really changes, you know, tactics and approach.
Also said that exploring was very important.
It is. You can find. I mean, we internally at RAD we split players into 3 parts. Or some of them are exploration freaks, so to say. So we've put a lot of treasures, for example, around that you will be able to find. Other ones are guys that love combat, so we can develop your character towards combat and have a lot out of it. And other ones are obviously for the story. So completing a story, you will also get things that are really cool and usable in other parts of the game. And we have a new engine. We have Red Engine, which renders the game, and I think it's going to be the best looking RPG ever.
You said it was for streaming the story, no more loading screens?
We do not have loading screens because we wanted to make sure that when players roam around area, they won't have time to go grab coffee in the meantime. Sorry if anybody wanted that. But seriously, we wanted the game to know that when you're coming just close to the corner, the game already knows that it has to load the area behind the corner. You will see a streaming icon in the corner, you will see that, and everything is being streamed. So the only loading screens that you will see in this game are in between chapters when you're moving like 2 kingdoms away, and sometimes even the time is being changed. It's a direct sequel from The Witcher 1. So anybody who played The Witcher 1 will see that things that happened, for example, in the outro of The Witcher 1 are taking its burden now. So depending on the choices that players do, it actually means that you are shaping your own Geralt, your own Witcher, into different, distinct and diverse ways. Professional Witcher, emotional Witcher, well, not too much, not emo Witcher, but still emotional, or a guy that wants power. You can choose.
A direct sequel, you say. What does that mean for people who didn't play Witcher 1?
Nothing, pretty much. I mean, if anybody did not get a chance to play The Witcher 1, he won't feel lost in a game. I mean, it would be really cool if everybody wanted to try The Witcher 1, but I'm not stupid. I know not everybody did get a chance to play the game. So if anybody didn't, this game is chapter of its own. It has a generic beginning if you do not have a save game from the first one, because if you do, you can import it, but if you don't, it's got its own beginning. It's got its own story. You won't feel lost. Everything is explained. It doesn't take 13 hours to explain what happened in The Witcher 1. You do not have to know it if you don't want to.
One last question. Will The Witcher 2 be a PC-only game?
That's a difficult one. I would love it not to be only PC game, but right now I cannot tell you anything more. We're not a studio that focuses on many, you know, projects at the same time. When we will have done The Witcher 2, I would love to speak more about it.